Hi guys, I'm Tina Python and we're going to have a look at the while loop. So sometimes we want our program to repeat itself, or we want part of our program to repeat itself. And this can be achieved by using a loop, also called a repetition structure. The while loop repeats itself while a certain condition is true. So it is a condition controlled loop. It is a pretest loop because it will test whether the condition is true before executing. And another kind of loop is the count control loop, which we will have a look at some other time. So here's an example. So write a program that calculates and displays the hypotenuse in a right-angled triangle. The user should enter the length of the two shorter sides. The program should ask the user if the user wants to calculate another hypotenuse. So now this is the structure for the while loop. First of all, number one, create a variable for the while loop. And the variable could be called another calculation. And we'll assign a value to this variable. And here I have assigned y in quotation marks. So that's y for yes. Because we're going to ask and see if we're going to have an answer saying y for yes. And number two, we need to write the while condition. So while, and this is a keyword, so you can see it's got another color, while, and then we have the variable that we created up here. Another calculation is equal to y in quotation marks and the colon. So single equality sign means we're assigned the value to the variable, and two equality signs means that we check whether this is true or not. And if it is true, then we're going to run whatever statements we have here. We're going to write them very soon. And then this is the body of the program about calculating the hypotenuse. And then we're going to ask the user. So ask for a new input of the variable that controls the loop. That's the third part of this while loop. Then we will have another input, another calculation equals input, enter y for yes, anything else for no, right? So if we enter a y here, then the program will go back to while and perform here all this another time. And each time it finishes all the statements here, all these, they have to be indented. When the program has run through all these, it goes back and checks whether this is true. If it's true, do it again. If it's not true, just skip all these indented lines of code and go down here. So we're going to complete this program now. So we'll start and have a welcome phrase. And then we can have the variable up here and then here and here. So here we're going to do the actual calculation. So we need the user to enter the lengths of the two shorter sides. I can write that. I think we'll just call them A and B. That's simple. We can have float numbers if we want to use decimal numbers. Input and then we'll have B. I forgot input. And now we're going to calculate the hypotenuse. So instead of using the square root, we can do to the power 1/2, which is the same as the square root. So the hypotenuse is then the square root of a squared plus b squared. So we'll do, and to raise to the power, we use the two stars. So a squared here plus b squared here, and then to the power, two stars again, of 0.5. This is then the square root of a squared plus b squared. And we'll print the hypotenuse. And we'll end with a dot. Right. And then here it says, do you want to calculate another hypotenuse? And then we have the input. So that looks good. So all this is indented. So it will be performed if this condition up here is true. And after this has been done, maybe we should have some kind of phrase to end the program. We can have so I'll control save and we'll try this program. Enter the length of one of the short sides. So the first time we run a program, we could use figures so that we can control the result. So I'll use 3 and 4, because then I know the hypotenuse should be 3 squared plus 4 squared, that's 25, and the square root is 5. So 5, so this is working. Do you want to calculate another hypotenuse? Enter y for yes, anything else for no? No, so now I want to, so y. So I start again. I can have 6 and 8. It's 10. Another one. 7 and 9. Now I'll get lots of decimals. I need to fix that. Do you want to calculate another hypotenuse? Well, not now. I can put n or p or whatever, as long as I don't put y. Have a good day. Well, thank you, program. So we'll fix the format here. Format. I'm going to do, then we can have 2 decimal places maybe, like this, right? Format. This should work. Try this. 6, 7, and now this one is rounded. Do I want to do another one? No, I'll just put U, and then I get have a good day. Right. So program runs here as long as the condition is true. When I put anything else than y here, the program goes up here, will check. If it is not true that the variable is set to y, then skip all this, go down here and continue the program. And now we only have one line. But whatever comes here, it will just continue. Now we'll have another example to practice. So here, write a program that lets the user practice multiplication. The program should ask for 2 numbers and write the product. The program should ask if the user wants to practice another multiplication. So, right. And we'll start as before. And just print. Let's practice multiplication. Now then, we'll start with the, to create, I'll write this so we know what we're doing. Create the variable variable that controls the loop. So we could have, here we had another calculation. We can just simply write another one. So I'll do that. Another one equals, and I will write Y for yes here as well. Some other time you might want to have, well, whatever is a good answer to the question. So another one equals Y. Now we're going to do the while thing. So while another one now is equal to Y, and then end with a colon, right? So while another one equals Y. While this is true, do all this. Now we're going to have indented lines, which we get automatically. So we'll ask for the two numbers to multiply. So we'll have factor 1. We can have integers. I think that's enough. Input, enter. And then we can have factor 2 and the second number. Then we'll multiply. We're going to get the product. Then we'll have factor 1. Multiplication is just a star, right? Factor 2. And then we'll print the product. And then we could have something, we want to have the question now, right? So we're going to have a new input for the variable, another one. So another one will have input enter, then we'll have single quote marks here, just in the question, enter Y for doing another, for another multiplication. And yeah, we can have something ending the program. We can print well done. Right, we'll save this and try it out. Okay, I'll have another one. Let's practice multiplication. Enter the first number. We'll have 5 and 8, 40. Enter Y for another multiplication, anything else for no. I want to do another one, so I'll enter Y. Enter the first number, 25. The second number, 5. And now I have to wait because I have to practice multiplication. So I can't press enter because then I'm going to have the answer straight away. So I need to wait here and think. Oh, I think that's 125. Yes. I think that we need to, well done, okay. We'll just have a line to enter so that we have time to think. So then I think we're going to put that line here. then we'll just have an input like this. Enter or press enter to show the product. So if we write this, the program will wait for us to press enter and then it will continue. So this is like having a pause because there's no value being assigned to a variable. It's just a way to pause the program and have the user press enter to continue. And also, just to show you, instead of having product here, we could just have this directly here. It's just to show you that we might want to do, we could do it like this as well. Calculation directly here in the print. So, Control S and run. Enter the first number, 12. Enter the second number, 6. Press enter to show the product. Now I can think. Is it going to be 72? Yes. I think that's enough. So now it says well done. Well, actually, you could also write something in here that the program will, the user will enter the product and then the program could check whether it's correct or not. And if it's not correct, the program might not write well done. Well, okay, so now here are 2 exercises for you. The first one is for a post office. The program should ask for the parcel ID number, just think of a number, and the weight, and then calculate the postage cost. It's 450 US per kilogram, and then display the parcel ID number and the postage cost. And also ask if the user wants to calculate the cost of another parcel. Exercise 2, write a program that calculates and displays pay slips for extra staff. The different members of the extra staff have worked different number of hours and have different pay rates per hour. So the program should ask for name, hours worked, and pay per hour, and calculate the pay, and then display name, hours worked, pay per hour, and total pay. And then the program should ask the user if the user wants to do another pay slip. So that's it for now. Thank you and goodbye.